The New Female Pastor, which is the last comedy feature film I made, and this is the oral history of it. So this movie was originally supposed to be a sitcom that Rajiv and I wrote in LA for Patricia Heaton in mind. And we pitched it to her because I know Patty a little bit from interviewing her for her first cover story back in the late 90s. For Spire magazine, and then I've been to her house for a Christmas party and met some of the other cast members there. So we pitched it to her, but she had already signed on for the middle, so that kind of ended that. And I know we pitched it to Cheryl Hines while we were filming The Captain all day, and Cheryl just thought the idea of playing a female pastor was something she couldn't wrap her head around. But it never came to be, but it was a spec script that got us meetings and got us attention. And we knew it had potential, and so when I was in the Midwest many years later, I decided to make it as a sitcom and cast Keisha Steele as Pastor Trey, this fashionable pastor from a big city. And then that kind of led to a feature. We basically turned it into a feature film. We had a beautiful location with this church saint in St. Louis, thanks to Larry, our producer. And so the only funny thing was trying to make it look like a Protestant church. We had to keep avoiding saints everywhere. And that was kind of an interesting challenge from a directing standpoint. But boy, did we have the cast of comedic people who had had so many years in acting class, perfecting their comedy skills, that this was like the payoff. I really feel like this movie paid off people's comedy talents. And I really wrote roles that I knew they could land these lines. As the son of a youth pastor, there's no end to the material and the roles within the church, and there's no end to the eccentric people who go and attend church. So everybody either played a church member or a member of the staff. But we had a blast making this. We shot it again at St. Stanislaus, and we shot a lot of it in Tim's Chrome Bar. Yeah, it was a good shoot. It said what I want to say about my upbringing.
Are we George Floyd? Or are we the officer with a knee on his neck, squeezing the life out of him?
This movie really sums up what I have to say to the Christian church. And I don't really have much more to say to it. I really summed it up in The New Female Pastor.